On August 19th, 2021, Bungie released their TWAB. In this TWAB detailed the buffs coming to the Vex Mythoclast inside Destiny 2. This video will detail the upcoming buffs and provide a strong build that I think every player should get prepared for these upcoming buffs. One of the buffs reads as follows. Range stat increased to be near best in class for high impact auto rifle. Now what I'm showing right here is a test of my age-old bond, which has maximum range and is a high impact frame. So this is the maximum range high impact frames, and I'm showing you the damage fall off distance. At 33 meters, one precision shot is doing 1,317 damage. At 34 meters, I'm dealing 1,312 damage. This means the damage fall off range is 34 meters away from the target. So what this means is that this should be the upper limit for how far the damage fall off of Vex should be after the buff occurs. The next bit of information is for a baseline of how much precision damage my Vex is doing right here. It's doing 1,766 damage. The next buff Vex is getting is around a 40% damage bonus for PvE content. And right here I'm showing you a 35% bonus, a 40% bonus, and a 44% bonus. Since we really don't know what the bonus is going to be, I decided to give a range of it. Right here, as I said, we don't know what the actual percentage is, so I'm taking the average of all those damages, which is 2,466, which is what I'm going to assume is the precision damage going forward. By all means, feel free to replace this number with whatever. You could use the 2472 as well, because this also averages out to be a 40% bonus if you average the bonuses together. This is just how I'm looking at it. So with 2,466 damage per precision shot at a range of 33 meters, Vex should be around 87% stronger than your normal high impact auto. But that's not all, folks. There's more buffs coming. Another buff Vex is getting is it's getting its fire rate increased from 360 RPM to 390 RPM. High impact autos have a 360 RPM. Vex currently has the same, so not only will Vex deal more damage per shot, but will also have a higher fire rate. In a perfect environment, hitting all precision shots, one magazine will have a total damage of 81,378 over about 0.085 minutes, which is about 5.08 seconds. 81,378 over 5.08 seconds is around 16,019 DPS over one magazine. But there's even one more buff, and this is the real big one. The Catalyst will not only grant stability, but also increase your damage after you get a kill. So it's basically getting something like Rampage, because the D1 version of Vex had crowd control on it. So I guess Bungie wanted to sort of tie it back to the D1 design of Vex. While we're here, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button. This is going to be an amazing build that follows because of how much damage it has potentially. And plus the fact that it's solar means you can work it in with elemental wells. You can work it in with a lot of exotics that are based on your element subclass. Stuff like that. And it's a fusion rifle, so you can run fusion mods and it'll work with Vex, and you can run a second fusion rifle. So you can, there's a lot of combinations here, but without a further ado, I'll get into the build. For this build, you're going to want a solar helmet, solar gloves, void chest piece, arc boots, and void class item. It's kind of important what slots these go in based on other mods, and I'll get into that later. The first and most important mod to this build is quick charge. This is an arc mod, and it'll go in your boot slot because your boots should be arc. It's a 5 energy cost. What it does is become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple combatants with fusion rifles or shotguns. It also, as a passive, if you have another arc mod equipped, which you could have like invigoration or whatever the boot one is greatly increases the ready speed of fusion rifles, shotguns, submachine guns, and swords. So this goes really well if you're using double fusion rifles, since you're also using Vex, or if you're using an LMG or a sword in your heavy. Now, the special thing about this is that Vex is a fusion rifle, but it's a primary, really. So it's really like an auto rifle, and you're getting to be able to charge with light with this. Now, this mod works really well. It has about a 5-second gap between the first kill and the second kill, so it's pretty lenient on how much time you have to get charged with light. The main reason you want to have this on your boots is because it's an expensive mod, and this kind of takes care of any situation where we may have a seasonal champion mod that costs, I don't know, 7 energy. So you don't want this on your gloves, and your chest piece you're going to want to save for variations of mods, and I'll get to that later. The next mod I would say to get is Stacks on Stacks. I would put this on your class item. What this does is it gives you an extra charge of light for every charge of light you get. So instead of getting 1 charge of light, you're going to get 2 charges of light with every multi-kill with the Vex. This is going to let you optimize the amount of time you have for getting more charges of light as fast as possible. The third mod you should get is Charged Up. It's a solar mod, it's 2 energy cost, and it should go in your gloves because this is going to be your most important armor piece because of champion mods, and it's the cheapest mod on here, so that's the perfect combination you want to fit in. This mod allows you to get 1 additional stack of Charged with Light. This will help you on your way to getting ×5, which is the maximum cap for Charged with Light. The fourth mod you should have is Supercharged in the helmet slot. It's a 5 cost mod and it's solar. This is basically the same thing as Charged Up, but this allows you the additional 2 up to a maximum of 5. Now onto the chest piece. The reason it needs to be void is because you want to have access to either energy converter or protective light or high energy fire. High energy fire doesn't matter that it's void, so that one can go on all, but the other 2 need it to be void. Energy converter allows you to get half your super back essentially if you have ×5 charged with light and you throw your grenade and you're under 50% of your super. Protective light gives you a damage resist when your shield breaks, and the more charges you have, the longer the duration is. High energy fire gives you a damage buff that uses a charge every kill you get, but with stacks on stacks and quick charge, you basically never run out of charges of light as long as you're getting those double kills within 5 seconds. If you're using high energy fire, then I would recommend dropping supercharged and charged up and replace them with Warmind cell mods, because with high energy fire, you always use a charge with light when you get a kill, and with stacks on stacks you're always going to get 2, so you're basically you'll never get above 2 stacks essentially. It's technically possible if you get lucky, but 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen. So being at 2 charges is pretty good, and that's the base amount without these 2 mods. So I would replace them with Warmind cells or Elemental Wells. If you like this video, then consider hitting the thumbs up. If you want to see more of this sort of content, hit the subscribe button, and as always, I hope you have a good day.